Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Jacob Edwards Library here in Southbridge. We are pleased to present another in our program series and music program this evening from Solstice Sackbuts.
We opened our program with the Toccata from the Toccata and Fugue in D minor, which is an organ piece composed by Johann Sebastian Bach. It probably sounded familiar to you because it's been used many times, became really widely known because of its inclusion in the Walt Disney film Fantasia. But it's been used in many settings to illustrate horror and villainy. It was included in the soundtrack of the 1931 film Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was also in the 1962 film Phantom of the Opera. And we segued from the Bach Toccata into the theme from the Addams Family. The Addamses were a satirical inversion of the ideal 20th century American family. who seem to be unaware that other people find them bizarre and spooky. We're going to continue now with some more spooky music in the spirit of Halloween. This is music from Andrew Lloyd Webster's play, Phantom of the Opera. The play is based on a novel by the French writer Gaston Leroux, and it was originally in a French magazine as a serial in 1909. The novel was inspired by historical events at the Paris Opera concerning the tale of a ballerina's skeleton being used in Carl Maria von Weber's production of Der Freischütz in 1841. And as you probably know, the plot revolves around a beautiful soprano who becomes the obsession of a mysterious, disfigured, musical genius trombone player. If you believe that, I also have a bridge for sale in Brooklyn.
Huh.
these, I don't know about you, but I think these costumes represent superheroes, and it makes me a better trombone player, so I'm glad to be in costume today. So I want to talk about a little bit of Halloween's origins. It dates back at least as far as 2,000 years ago with the Celts that were in what is now Ireland, United Kingdom, northern France. And they celebrated their new year on, well, typically, supposedly anyway, somewhere around November 1st. And so this day marked the end of summer, the end of the harvest, and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, and the time of year that was often associated with human death. So it was a little bit scary. So the Celts believed that on the night before the new year, which would be Halloween, that the boundary between those two worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. And so on that night, October 31st, they believed that ghosts of the dead returned to Earth. In addition to causing, trouble and damaging crops, they thought it also made it easier for their priests to tell the future. So it was a very sort of tumultuous time to be alive and struggling through a long, dark, cold winter, and then have all these prognostications happen right on that same day, which might determine your fate for the next year. Anyway, so during these celebrations, if you will, to recognize this event of the two worlds coming together, the Celts wore costumes, typically consisting of animal heads and skins, and they attempted to tell each other their fortunes for the next year. So anyway, I think a lot of this was based on superstition, which we will come to in a little bit later in the program. We're going to play a piece now that's entitled Dance Macabre. And according to legend, death appears at midnight every year on Halloween and calls forth the dead from the graves, just like the Celts 2,000 years ago. And they will dance for him while he plays his trombone. Yeah, that part's true. So his skeletons dance for them until the rooster crows at dawn, when they must return to their graves until the next year. So this piece opens with a trombone playing a single note 12 times, representing the 12 strokes of midnight. Here's Dance Macabre by Saint-Saëns. Two bars. One, two.
My favorite part of Halloween is all the scary movies they show on TV for the whole month of October. And our next song is a song that is all about those scary movies. It's about those 1950s creature features, those B movies that teenagers flock to the drive-ins to see. It's about the beast about to strike, the creature creeping up behind, the thing with 40 eyes, and then the dead start to walk, and there's the jaws of the alien, and then the words go, now is the time for you and I to cuddle close together. All through the night, I'll save you from the terrors on the screen. So it's just kind of a fun song that Michael Jackson recorded in 1982, and in just over a year, the album and the song became a #1 hit. Actually, the album was the best-selling album of all time, and there was also a 14-minute video made of this song, during which Michael Jackson leads zombies in a choreographed dance routine. So I'm hoping the zombies come out to dance to this one. This is called Thriller.
2, 3. We're going to play now the Funeral March of a Marionette. And that wasn't its first name. It was originally part of something called Sweet Burlesque, which was a satirical character piece intending to be a parody of a music critic named Henry Chorley. So the composer is Charles Gounod, and he decided to write this piece, whom his patron, whose name is Georgina Weldon, said of Chorley, the music critic, he has a thin, high-pitched, sopranish voice, and he moves like a stuffed red-haired monkey. So, and Mr. Gounod was going to publish this with a dedication to his most unfavorite music critic, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, he died before this was possible. And so he scrapped that idea, and his patron, Georgina, invented a new program for the piece. And then it got its new title of March of a Marionette. And Gounod abandoned the rest of the suite that he had published. And he put this together for 20 instruments and well, I'd say a whole section of strings, plus 20 extra instruments, the winds and percussion. And we're going to attempt this with 3 trombones.
And, what does this have to do with Halloween?
I have no idea.
I know,
Why?
Alfred Hitchcock.
So this is perhaps best known as the theme for the television program Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which aired between 1955 and 1965. And the show featured dramas, thrillers, and mysteries. So.
We're going to continue now with a song entitled Ghost Riders in the Sky, Cowboy Legend. This is a cowboy-styled country and western song written in 1948 by the American songwriter Stan Jones. And a number of versions were crossover hits on the pop charts in 1949, the most successful being by Vaughn Monroe. The song tells a folk tale of a cowboy who has a vision of red-eye, steel-hooved cattle thundering across the sky, being chased by the spirits of cowboy ghosts. One of the ghosts warns him that if he does not change his ways, he will be doomed to join them, forever trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. There have been more than 50 recorded versions of this song, including versions by the Outlaws, Vaughn Monroe, Bing Crosby, Frankie Lane, Burl Ives, who recorded it twice, Johnny Cash, Gene Autry, and my favorite version by Marty Robbins.
What about the Salsa Sackbutts?
And the Salsa Sackbutts have recorded this, I guess. I think we're the only trombone trio that has ever recorded this. Two beats. One.
pretty spooky. We're going to play another spooky song from a play called Peer Gynt. This is very famous. It's called In the Hall of the Mountain King. And it's about Peer Gynt. He's our main character. He encounters this woman in green who turns out to be the Troll Mountain King's daughter, and they ride together on the back of a huge pig into a dark cage, which happens to be the home of her dad, the Troll King. So once inside, Peter's tormented and haunted by trolls who are trying to kill him. There's just crowds of gnomes and goblins, and the king sits on his throne, and there's a tremendous uproar in the hall, and some of the words are, "Slay him, the Christian man's son has seduced the fairest maid of the mountain king. Slay him. May I hack him on the fingers, may I tug him by the hair. Hoo hey, let me bite him in the haunches. shall he be boiled in a broth and breed to me?" Anyway, pretty creepy. So the scene ends with everybody chasing him around the hall. The music gets faster and faster, and then the lights go out, and then that's the end of the scene. You'll have to watch the play and find out what happens to Peer Gynt. Well, I read somewhere that Halloween costumes started back when it was believed that the ghosts were hanging around on Halloween night. That people, if they went out after dark, they wore masks so that the ghosts would mistake them for fellow spirits. So, speaking of ghosts, sometimes they just become kind of a nuisance, and you have to call in the professionals. So, if there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call?
The Solstice Cyclops.
Hey!
No! If there's something weird and it don't look good, who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters!
So, anyway, this is the song from the movie Ghostbusters, written by Ray Parker Jr., who saw a cheap commercial for a local service one night while he was watching TV, so he made up this pseudo-advertising jingle that advertised the Ghostbusters in the movie.
One, two, three. So I want to talk about superstition a little bit. Here's some words from a song. Very superstitious, writings on the wall. Very superstitious, ladders about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, the good things in your past. This is from a song called Superstition by Stevie Wonder. And some of the rest of the words to the song was, when you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Yay, yay. Anyway, that's what he thought. So I'll just, to remind you, some of the things that you might have seen or heard or done before that were superstitious, or phrases. So I have 13 of them. Okay. So number 13, beginner's luck. People think, oh, someone who just starts something, they can do it. Well, it must just have been luck. Not that they were good about it, or just maybe lucky. Yeah. Regardless of being a beginner or not, right. Find a penny, pick it up, and all day long you'll have good luck. Number 11, don't walk under that ladder. Number 10, black cats crossing your path.
Ooh.
Whoa, yeah, I know. Number 9, a rabbit's foot will bring you luck. Really? A rabbit's foot? I don't think so. I like the little furry rabbits when they're nice and warm and fluffy. Number 8, bad luck comes in threes. Okay. Careful with that mirror. According to folklore, right? If you break a mirror, you're doomed to have 7 years of bad luck. Number 6 is 666. Anyways, superstition in the number 666 goes all the way back to the book of Revelations in the Bible. It's the number of the beast. Number 5, knock on wood. I have a little piece of wood, okay? 4, make a wish on a wishbone. And I guess you have to break it, whoever gets the bigger half gets their wish. And the other person, out of luck. Yeah, out of luck. And this one I used the other day, and I just couldn't figure out why, but this student of mine was sick, and his mom said, yeah, he had to stay home from school today. And so I emailed her back, and I said, I got my fingers crossed. Good luck. So hopefully it's just a sort of, cross your fingers. Anyway, good luck. And don't open your umbrella inside. And the number 1 on my hit of 13 is Friday the 13th. Right? The bad luck happens on Friday the 13th. So here's Stevie Wonder's song about something he doesn't believe in very much. Superstition. Three, 4, 1, 2.
Continue now, the theme song from a 1964 TV sitcom depicting the home life of a family of benign monsters featuring Herman Munster and his wife Lily. This was a satire of both traditional monster movies and the wholesome family fare of the era. And, believe it or not, it was produced by the creators of Leave It to Beaver. The running gag of the series was that the family, while definitely odd, considered themselves fairly typical working class people of the era. This is the theme from The Munsters. Chorus. 1, 2, 3. We'd like to thank all of you for coming out. We're going to conclude our program with the funeral march composed by Chopin, Frédéric Chopin. This is really part of a piano sonata, and the one movement of it is titled The Funeral March. It was completed in 1839. This is the third movement. And he actually composed this separately as early as 1837. Has a pretty spooky background. It was played at the graveside during Chopin's own burial in Paris. Quite a few years later, in 1933, the English composer Sir Edward Elgar transcribed it for a full orchestra. His first performance was at Elgar's own memorial concert the next year. And it's been used a number of times for funerals, including the state funerals of John F. Kennedy, Sir Winston Churchill, Margaret Thatcher, and the Russian leader Leonid Brezhnev. This is the Funeral March by Chopin. One, two, three.
Thank you.